Hey everybody, good morning. Today we're taking a look at 1 Samuel chapter 23 is what we're on. So we see this chapter is devoted to David escaping King Saul. You know, King Saul is just really searching him out, and we see that the cities are the people in the cities are running to the king, saying, "Hey, this is where David is," and you've got people conspiring to help the king, and God saves David through all of this. I mean, through all of this, you see, even David was obeying the Lord, going to one of the cities that was a gated city, and just to help them from the enemy that was attacking, and they did, and then the Lord still provided an escape. But what I really want to see, what I want to talk about here is that David is always one step ahead of the enemy. And really, in David's eyes, King Saul isn't the enemy, but in the king's eyes, David is the enemy. Because David is a threat to his throne, and the king knows that David is going to sit on that throne one day, so he really wants to take him out. Really wants to preserve that throne for his offspring, for his son. And but we see that David is always one step ahead of him, and we too ought to be one step ahead of the enemy. You see, he never has any new tactics. If we can grasp just a decent understanding of Genesis 3, we see that the devil has deceived from day one. He has not stopped. He will lie, he will deceive, he will do whatever he needs to move you off of the plan that God has for your life. And the best way to stay two steps ahead of him is to live your life in faith, just following God, as we see David did here. When David went to the city to help protect them against the Philistines that were coming. You see, David went with faith. You see, the Apostle Paul teaches us in Ephesians 6 that we hold a shield of faith in our hand. Okay? And that shield of faith is something that should be in front of you, not behind you. You see, it's God's glory that protects your backside, but it's that shield of faith that protects your front side. You see, and that shield of faith should always be one step ahead of you, which keeps you one step ahead of the enemy that's behind you. Okay? That shield of faith should always be just so heavy that you need God's help to lift it up. You see, and this is how David is living right now. He is actually living faith to faith to faith to faith. And what is preceding him is glory to glory to glory to glory. And God's glory is protecting his backside. David knew this. David knew that it was getting to God and living out that faith that really is what saved him. That really is what still established him amongst the people of Israel. Even though the king is saying, "You're the enemy," the people are seeing God lift him up. It's by faith that this is happening. David just follows the Lord in whatever the Lord says. And he does it. Whether he may be killed or not, he does it. Because his trust is in the Lord. Is yours. Have a super day. I love you all.